I was trying to be proactive today and bring my snack or lunch because I had to go out and do physical therapy, which is why I started doing this whole keto diet anyways, because I want to get rid of the pain in my back and joints and muscles and everywhere. So I just saw somebody, so I just lost my train of thought again. I'm gonna open this up and hopefully make that have some better lighting in here. I have to do this in the car because in my house there are many people. That's a Bible verse, not that way, but it says, in my Father's house there are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you. I go to prepare a place for you. So if you know Jesus and you're following him, you have a mansion in heaven, which I'm so thankful that both my daughter, Jessica, who was 27 when she went to heaven with her baby in 2016, and my son, Brad, who went to heaven in 2018 when he was 22. I'm so glad that I have a hope and I have faith and I believe, because that's how you get to heaven, that they're there and they're in their mansion. And so I don't have to. I still am sad, don't get me wrong, I'm still sad, but I have a hope. So now I'm doing this back to, oh, you know what, you're not going to be able to hear with the window open. Alright, trying not to edit my videos because it takes forever and I'm not that good at it. So these are going to be bloopers. So today I'm going to do a recap of yesterday. Yesterday for breakfast I ate nothing. I had a cup of tea with some monk fruit in it and some milk, which I should have put the heavy cream in it, because not only does it taste so much better, but then you can, it fills you right up. I'm not gonna make it sound like it's perfect, because it's not perfect, but it fills you up. And you're talking about somebody who went from eating an apple turnover with her tea every morning, or some kind of pastry every morning, and if I didn't have a pastry, then I would have to have a piece of toast with butter on it. I had to have some kind of carb with my tea every morning and a heating pad in order to get my day started. So now, granted, we're only 2 days into this. Yesterday morning I was able to do it. Had my cup of tea with my heavy cream, and it actually tasted pretty good, and I didn't really feel like I was cheating myself. I felt like I was treating myself. So I did the same thing again this morning, and then I started sewing, making my masks, because I'm making masks and selling them in my community. I gave some away. So the philosophy that I've learned is with money, you spend some, save some, and give some away. I did do the give some, I did do the spend some, and so I'm not making like enough money to have to pay taxes on, but you know, if I make enough money to pay for the fabric and it keeps me busy, then that's a good thing, because I'm going from being pretty depressed, because although my children are in heaven, it's depressing, the thought of how far away they are from me. And so back on track with the keto thing. I ended up, I'm an emotional eater, and an emotional eater goes for something even when they're not hungry. And it's been a habit of mine to start the day off with tea and pastry. So I'm cutting that habit, and I'm cutting out the sugar, because I have turned into, after menopause, really liking sugar. And Now I'm using monk fruit, which is the best thing that I feel that's closest to the natural sugar. It's not 100% like cane sugar, but it doesn't have that awful aftertaste that stevia gives you, for me anyways, and all those other ones. So monk fruit is where it's at for me. So monk fruit, oh, my back getting bumping. I'm driving in the car. And now let's go on to what I had for lunch. I had lunch about 1:30. I had chicken salad sandwich that I made myself. I roasted the chicken in the oven with some onions. I want to say I'm a pretty good cook. I like to try many different things. So this is going to be a challenge, but it's going to work out. I took some olive oil and I covered it with the chicken with the olive oil and a little bit of garlic powder instead of fresh garlic, and then some salt and pepper and some onions. Put them in the oven, 350, cooked them until they were done to my liking, and then shredded them and put them together with some mayonnaise and fresh spinach. So that's what I had yesterday. I didn't measure how much I had. I'm going to approximate that I had about 2 cups of it. I'm taking this slowly, and I'm trying to take out the sugar. That's my main goal, and I'm trying not to confine and tell myself you can't have this, you can't have that, because that's usually when I fall off the rails. When you start telling me what to do, I don't like it. So I ended up feeling very satiated with that. Then I had this filled with water, and my plan was to drink 3 of those a day. I'm going to tell you the truth, I drank 1.5 of those. I'm still working on that. As a matter of fact, it is now about 1:30, and I actually haven't finished this yet. So when I turn this off, I'll finish it and go home and fill it up again. Every day I want to try to improve on what I'm doing. For lunch, for supper, I had a lazy supper. I bought soggy hot dogs and I cooked them. I had 3 of them with some mustard, and then at night I ate about a half a pint of fresh blueberries when my mind told me that I needed something to eat when I really didn't. The other thing that I did was I took some unsweetened almond milk, a cup. I took a teaspoon of cacao, 100%, and a teaspoon of monk fruit with some ice cubes, mixed that together, poured about 1/4 cup of heavy cream, and had that as I need something sweet right now before I lose it. And I really did like it. So I had to eat a few more blueberries before the night was over, but I felt so accomplished because I did it for the day. Now today is a new day. Had my tea. I didn't crave the pastry. I did do my errands, and then I started to get hungry. Couldn't eat my almond paste, my almond butter. I was going to eat a few teaspoons of that. I forgot the spoon. So I went to the dollar store and I bought those pork rinds, and I ate almost the whole bag. Hey, what are you going to do? I'm going to probably eat a few strawberries, then I'm going to go home, and then I'm going to make some hamburger. I'm going to put some cheese on it, make some bacon, and probably drizzle some mayonnaise over that and put it on a bed of lettuce. And I'm going to probably do a chopped side of fresh spinach, and then at night we'll play it by ear. I did buy a few keto things at Marshall's, but they're sweet things, and I'm going to put them in way in the back corner because I don't want to eat them now because I want to de-sugar sweeten myself. But they're there in case I have an attack. So that's what my plan is for today. I was going to buy a digital scale just to start off to see where I'm at. although it's not my main focus. So this is where we are for the second day, and I'm going to try to figure out how to do a Facebook page, and hopefully I can get people to join the Facebook page, and we'll go from there, and hopefully I'll build a little community of support, and we can do this together. So I'm going to be as honest as I can, and I'm not going to say something is, tasting awesome when it really, to me, isn't. And I need honesty always. Integrity and honesty is like my middle name. And as far as my weight, as far as I know, I'll admit it, it's 176. I think, but when I checked about 3 weeks ago, when I was at work, I stepped on the scale real quick. So we'll see where I go from there. And when I even say, this is how bad it is. When I say my weight, I feel really self-conscious about it. And if you weighed 176, it wouldn't bother me. But it's me that I'm talking about. Just like when you do your life change, it's about you. It's not about me. So I'm going to step into the flower store over here, and I'm going to see what they have. That always helps me to feel better. And then I'm going to go home and get that cheeseburger boat made so that when it's time for supper, it'll be all ready, and I won't have that anxiety feeling. I don't like to use that word anxiety because it's such a strong word, but that hurry up feeling. I like to always be prepared. I said I like to be. I didn't say I always was, but I like to be. So I'm trying to keep this video under 15 minutes. And if you like and subscribe and hit the bell, you'll follow me on this keto life change choice process. Because like I said before, I don't like to use all the same words that everybody else is using. They call it the journey, which it is a journey. But again, I go back to Bible verses, and the Bible says that the road, this is a strong one, the road to hell is wide, but the road to heaven is narrow, and it says few therefore travel. So I like to stay on the narrow road, and the wide road makes it much easier, but the narrow road is harder. So there we go, staying under 15 minutes, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.